Hey guys, so here today with one of my clients, Daniella Hall, and we're just going to be talking about what Daniella was going through before she came to us. So when Daniella first came across us, she was suffering from functional neurological disorder, as well as migraines that were really impacting her life. So Daniella, if you could just tell people a little bit about what you were going through for people out there, and how long you were going through it for, and the struggles you were going through.
So I've always had migraines, probably since being a teenager, but they got progressively worse. I'd say about 3 years ago, I had a really bad migraine where I was taken into hospital. They thought I'd had a stroke, the right side of my face dropped, I was totally paralysed down one side, I couldn't speak, so all the symptoms you can think of a stroke I had. It turned out that I didn't have a stroke. I had lots of scans and things, and they diagnosed me with a genetic disorder called hemiplegic migraines. I was fortunate or not to be able to see some apparently top consultants in their field who basically told me that I would never be cured, and it was a genetic disorder and I had to live with it. By this point, I was getting migraines every single day. I had to leave my job. I was a teacher, I had to leave my job, and my husband had to care for me, really. I then had IBS, I then developed fibromyalgia, where I just had constant limb pain. And like I said, with migraines every day, it was pretty horrific.
So it was really impacting your life. How long did you say that was been going on for?
Years.
Years.
Yes, yeah.
And so all the specialists told you you'd never be able to overcome this no matter what
Never.
you do, yeah?
No.
Cool.
They said it's genetic. Because it's genetic, I would never get better.
And what had they tried with you?
Tablets. I was on 15 tablets a day, and then pushed to see different consultants. So I just kept getting more and more symptoms, and in the end they also said I had functional neurological disorder, because basically I don't think they knew what to do with me.
Yeah.
And they couldn't give me any more tablets, so they just passed me on to different consultants that tested my liver, because then I started getting really bad liver readings. It was just a vicious circle, really.
Yeah, sort of what happens with so much medication, it impacts your organs. But then, so they didn't know what was going on. It's almost like idiopathic. That's what they say. They don't know what's going on. Yeah. So going on for a long while, all you did was medication. And they told you that you'd never be able to actually overcome it.
Yeah.
So what was the turning point in this? Like, how did you overcome this?
I didn't want to take 15 different tablets a day at the age of 34 at that time. And the consultant said basically I needed to register myself as disabled, and my husband needed to care for me. He was having to take more and more time off of work to look after me and my children, and I didn't want to live like that anymore.
And so how did you resolve this? How did you overcome what you were going through?
So
how did we meet?
Yeah, during lockdown, it was because I've mentioned to consultants before that I'm sure the food that I was eating was a trigger for me, and they told me I was stupid, basically. They told me that there's no evidence to suggest that this was the case, but during lockdown I was noticing that when I was starting to eat different things that I'd become really ill afterwards, and I was desperate. It was everything I was eating, it was becoming worse. So I spoke to a friend who I respect. He's in the fitness industry, and he gave me your number.
Cool. And then so that was around about, what was it, about 4 and a bit months ago?
Yeah, more, probably almost 6 months.
4 months, yeah, 6 months. And how long was it before you started seeing changes?
Straight away.
What, the doctors told you that you couldn't be healed straight away?
Yeah, straight away. Funny
that. Another fluke. So what was it that we? So obviously the outcome. So when you said the results, so what we saw, what happened? Headaches went. How did you feel? Like, what was different?
Yeah, headaches totally went. I didn't have any paralysis at all. So I used to get paralysis starting in my face, going all the way down. None. No brain fog. The IBS totally went. No limb pain. Everything went.
You're welcome. I'm joking. So I mean that's exactly what you want. We've said this many times to people before. The researchers out there, once you start giving the body what it wants and it needs to heal, it will. So it's fantastic. I mean, and just from my point of view, you are like very easy for me to work with. You know, once you put these things in place, I always say to people, the stricter you are, the stricter, or the more you follow the process, the quicker you'll get results, and that's why your results are basically instant. And so, if I said to you, what's been the impact on your life from following our program compared to where you were to how you are now?
Oh my God, I'm working again. I'm able to work again. I have a life. My husband has a life again. My whole family have a life. Like it's massively life changing. I know that sounds cheesy, but you've changed my life. No. It's totally changed my life.
That's awesome, and that's. I haven't been there myself. I know how much it makes a difference, and I've been able to actually live life on your terms again.
Yeah,
makes a huge difference. Awesome. So, if anyone out there who is suffering with a chronic illness, like for example, disease that they haven't been able to get any help with, and doctors, specialists, quote unquote, have told them that they can't be healed, what would you recommend to them to do?
And please don't listen when they tell you there's nothing they can do, or that you have to just put up with it, or take more medication. Make the change, do it, take the risk, try something new.
Yeah, and we're always here for you guys. So I mean, if you have been struggling with anything chronic illness wise, whether it be like Danielle with migraines, etc., anything, gut issues, skin issues, whatever it may be, you know, we're always here. If you send us an inbox here on email, send me an email to ryan@reviveyourself.co. I'll get back in touch with you as soon as possible, and you can get results like Daniella here, because you know, at the end of the day, it's your life that it's impacting, and it's no fun when you're living in constant pain. And no matter what the doctors have told you, you know, we've seen it time and time again. So thank you very much for coming on, Daniella.
No, you're welcome. Thank you, Ryan.
No worries. It's just awesome for people to actually hear from the horse's mouth what can
no, definitely.
Awesome. Cheers, Danielle. Allah.